In this video, we will compare and contrast decentralized finance and Web 2.0 online marketplaces. In the DeFi corner is CarbonDeFi, an innovative newcomer, and in the online marketplace corner is eBay, a long-standing leader in retail. eBay doesn't have a product. The popularity of eBay comes from the service it provides. People are able to take any product, no matter how popular or niche, and offer it up for sale at a price point of their choosing. Buyers on eBay look through the offers created by a variety of sellers, and after deciding what to buy, usually take the offer which has the lowest price. But an astute buyer doesn't always pick the cheapest version of their desired product. The astute buyer uses reviews and reputation metrics to ensure they are purchasing a high-quality item. The astute buyer does some due diligence to ensure that the item is a genuine product and not a fraudulent imitation or an outright false listing. Astute buyers consider the location of the seller and compare shipping costs and the time in which it takes for the product to arrive, because spending $500 on a PlayStation only for it to arrive 6 weeks after the birthday party has already happened is far from a desirable outcome. Despite these points of friction between the buyer and the seller, despite the fact that eBay takes 13.25% of the final value of the sale as a fee collected from the seller, eBay is still the premier platform for online retail sales. Because the ability for any person to take any legal product, no matter how popular or niche, and put it up for sale on a global marketplace is a service that the market demands. The ability to pick a product and choose a specific price to sell that product is a service that is now available to digital asset owners on the Ethereum blockchain. This is what CarbonDeFi does. On CarbonDeFi, users are free to list any standard ERC20 token and set a specific price to sell that token. No rounding, no algorithm, no off-chain clearance. Just your asset and your price. And because of the digital nature of the assets in question, the friction between buyer and seller is drastically reduced. To start, there is no maker fee on CarbonDeFi. The 1,325 basis point fee that every maker on eBay has to pay is totally gone. When an order is filled on CarbonDeFi, it is not reversible due to the architecture of CarbonDeFi. The maker does not bear an overhead cost for protection from things like MEV attacks, the request for refunds, or chargebacks due to stolen credit cards. And buyers do not have to worry about the honesty of sellers because the public nature of blockchains means that the listings on CarbonDeFi are verifiable. Buyers can see the price, the asset, and make the trade with 100% confidence. The system described here is a non-custodial, decentralized, on-chain limit order. There are centralized institutions which offer limit orders, Coinbase, Binance, FTX, but these institutions require custody of user funds, and only when a project's token is popular, or willing to pay significant amounts of money, will a centralized exchange bother to list the token at all, which greatly limits the ability for sellers to make markets. And even when a token is listed on a centralized exchange, it has a limited number of markets. These markets are typically quoted in Bitcoin, Ether, USDT, USDC, and USD. So if you have a desire to trade a token with a quote in something other than these assets, offerings on centralized exchanges will be very, very limited. And if you wish to swap from one uncommon asset to another uncommon asset, you will likely have to convert your asset to Bitcoin and then convert the Bitcoin to the desired asset. On a centralized exchange, this means paying the exchange fee twice. But on CarbonDeFi, a market can be created for any ERC20 token pair as a part of the native architecture. On this channel, there is another video dedicated to exotic trading pairs and the benefits that market makers can reap from trading in these pairs without having to use an intermediary asset as a quote. And I recommend you watch that video if you wish to know more. CarbonDeFi is more than just an on-chain limit order engine. Range orders are a new kind of position unique to CarbonDeFi. A range order is most similar to a grid trading type position, in which a trader sets numerous limit orders inside of a range to scale in or out of a position. Range orders on CarbonDeFi do this as well, but instead of 5 or 10 or 50 small limit orders, thanks to some very clever calculus, the range orders on CarbonDeFi contain infinitely many limit orders spread out equally over the range. You might think that these limit and range orders are single use, and they can be. We call these disposable orders. But CarbonDeFi also features recurring orders, in which a user creates a maker position to sell a token, let's say they sell ETH for wrapped Bitcoin, and then pre-order their next maker position for the wrapped Bitcoin that they don't yet have. If the limit sell for the ETH goes through, the Bitcoin which is acquired is automatically listed at the other price point. And if the sale of that Bitcoin goes through, the newly acquired Ether will be listed at the original price point. This pattern repeats for as long as the maker chooses to keep the position open. If you'd like to see a step-by-step walkthrough on how to create a maker position on Carbon which uses recurring orders, then check out this other video. The primary point of friction for all transactions on Ethereum is the cost of gas. Makers do pay gas to create a strategy on CarbonDeFi, but makers do not pay gas when their orders are filled. Takers who come to Carbon are able to request their desired token and offer any standard ERC20 token as their preferred payment method. The open source SDK shows the routing for the trades with the specific maker positions that buyers will be interacting with. CarbonDeFi is under the management of the Bancor DAO. Leave a comment below with the trading pair that you think is the most underrepresented or perhaps underrated on Ethereum. And like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this.